How's it going, everyone? My name is Nick and this is Mechanic Built, and on this channel we finally have our 2002 Chevrolet Avalanche project. Now in this video, if you clicked on it, we're going to figure out a fuel problem that is on our Chevrolet Avalanche. So whether that be the fuel pump fuse, and the fuel pump relay, you guys are going to watch us figure out and see what the main problem is causing the Avalanche not to start. So you're going to see a little introduction of all the parts that we bought for the Avalanche, all the plans that we have for the Avalanche. So let's get to the video.
So what the hell are we doing today, man?
Installing these parts on the Avalanche.
Why did we get a Chevy Avalanche?
I don't know. I've always loved Avalanches. I think they're good trucks.
Well, you had the Jimmy, and now we have a Chevy Avalanche in the driveway, and it's dead on arrival.
It is dead on arrival.
So, as you guys can see here, these are all the parts that he bought over the last 2 weeks when this while the Chevy Avalanche was sitting in the driveway. We got pretty much here, we got our belt tensioner, we got pulleys, we got air filters, spark plugs, pretty much all the basic needs that we need in order to get this Avalanche running again. We're pretty sure that the fuel pump's out, but we're going to do actually a proper diagnosis. Robert's actually going to run over the proper diagnosis or to see if the actual fuel pump is out on our Chevy Avalanche. We also have this ozone. You want to grab that ozone filter thing? Yeah, this thing. Well, why did you get this?
Because it smells like smoke and some kind of other
smells like
substance.
Narcotics in there. Yeah. Yeah, we don't know if it's the previous owner. I'm not going to say that. Yes, the Chevy Avalanche smells very strong like cigarette smoke and narcotics. Probably set this up while we go try to diagnose a fuel pump issue. Just looks like a computer fan in a box, dude. Did you see the inside of this?
Yeah.
Well, let's see if that works. Yeah, so let's see if we could get the Chevy Avalanche to run. We were able to test drive it. Then the owner called us up and said, hey, it doesn't run. You want to pick it up for X amount? So, you want to tell everybody how much you picked this sucker up for?
Yeah, it was about $2,500. So.
Which is honestly not bad because
it runs the drive.
You have the tonneau cover on it.
Has all the parts.
Yeah, the rear end is, or the rear where you're able to remove the back behind the rear seats. Yeah. It's actually in pretty decent condition. Yeah. It's got a 4-inch lift on it, or supposedly they say. I think it's like 2.5 in my opinion, or 3.
Okay.
But it's a complete truck. Yeah. So let's get started on our Chevy Avalanche here and see what parts we need to throw on.
Yep.
It's a lot of parts here, man.
Not that many. I think we'll be all right.
So it's been sitting here for a couple weeks, right?
Yep.
And it looks like our battery just looks completely shot.
And we get the jumper?
Yeah, let's get the jumper. That way we can power the sucker up. See if the jumper will actually crank this.
So first things first, you want to make sure you have enough power to pretty much check your electricals when it comes to your fuel pump. So here you can see me opening up the fuse box in order to see where everything is. Kind of pointed out here that, you know, we have a couple relays that we could kind of switch over in case that the fuel pump relay was bad. We could actually switch it out with the daytime running lights. So for this diagnosis, all you're really going to need is a pair of pliers to take a look at the fuses or a fuse puller, and you're definitely going to need a multimeter. Next, which is pretty much optional, you might need a relay tester. Now, if you don't have a relay tester, that's not a problem. As long as your vehicle has the same relay, you could switch out. You could definitely use that relay to use as a test basis for your vehicle. Also, don't forget, we have chapters throughout this video, so if you want to skip ahead and see all the diagnosing parts through the video as the tutorial part, you could do that, or you could just watch as the vlog part and see how we pretty much went through the pains of trying to figure out what was wrong with the Chevy Avalanche.
What is this, a Amazon special?
Yeah.
Try putting the car in the on position. Anything?
No. Nothing.
Hold on. Yeah, because it's flashing at me. This is why sometimes I make recommendations, because now we literally just hooked it up to the battery, dude, and it just went from 100 to 0.
Okay. Sweet.
I guess we'll just change out the battery. The thing is probably shot. You got nothing?
Probably. Nothing.
Okay, let's change out this battery.
Okay.
And then pretty much go from there. So you got your battery tool, or is that stuck in the Jimmy?
Stuck in the Jimmy.
So need an 8mm wrench, and go from there. Start off with the positive. Why not? We're gonna have to get new screws.
Okay. That should be easy though, right?
Oh yeah. They're a little pain in the butt to get out. I don't think this battery's even... Yeah, this battery's not mounted on here. Why am I not surprised? Thank God we're taking out this battery though. It is, it's trash. Take it out. Oh, hold it. Set it down right here. Come on, Rob.
Oh shoot.
You forgot to take out the plastic clips.
Nice throw.
All right, go ahead, drop it in there for me. Yeah, more trash.
With cable deck.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. All right, I don't think a new battery is gonna do anything, but you could try cranking it.
I got power.
Yeah. Wait, crank it off. Crank it back on. Hold up. I don't feel this relay doing anything.
A good telltale sign is that the relay wasn't actually switching over and sending power to the fuel pump, so we definitely had an issue somewhere in this fuse box that wasn't sending power to our fuel pump. I actually did try switching out the relays like I mentioned earlier in the video, so I took that daytime running light fuse, tried switching it over to the fuel pump fuse, and nothing changed.
The fuel's not reading at all, but...
Yeah, I know. The fuel's not reading at all, huh? No. I don't feel any power going through the relay. Okay, let's do this. Come back over here.
Take it out, the key?
Key, yeah, put it in the opposition. Okay, so this is what I would do. I'm trying to see if there is a fuel pump relay, but you got your fuse, right? So right here should be number 15.
Okay. Pull.
Go ahead, pull that.
So kind of going in blind, since there wasn't one fuse that actually said fuel on there, I started going off basically on ECM and ignition fuses, hoping that the fuel pump fuse was attached to that one fuse, because I had a really good feeling at this point now that I had a blown fuse in the fuse box, causing no power to my fuel pump.
Is that running? Sweet.
Yeah, 10 amp. How's that look?
Looks good.
You did buy a book for this, right?
Yes.
Let's go ahead and grab that book. Let's be smart about this. Let's get the Haynes manual here. Wire diagrams. Yay, wire diagrams.
So it's always really good to actually have a manual to go look or refer to, whether that be a shop manual or one you could buy at the parts store like this Haynes manual. Haynes also, you could purchase them online, and they have actually all the diagrams that we needed. So this was kind of perfect, trying to find that one fuse that was attached to the fuel pump and all the other electrical accessories.
Secondary fuel pump level sensor right here. This all ties into my ECMB fuse, which is a 20 amp.
Okay.
ECMB, where are you? What about ignition B?
Ignition 0.
Okay, because I got an ignition C, but I'm trying to look for ignition B at least. Oh, I found it right here. Okay, so right here, ignition ECMB, so fuel pump relay.
Yep.
20 amp. Pull that.
Yep, this is blown.
It is blown?
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
I think I have extra in the fusion.
Well, see, there is a top on the top right is a 20 amp spare.
This one?
Yeah. Wait. We're missing the spares. Yeah, we need a...
in the fusion. What's your door code? I don't think I have a 30.
No, you have a 20 right there.
Yeah, there's just a 20?
They're color coded, so...
Oh, okay. I thought it was a 30.
No, 20. I'm gonna laugh if this works.
I'll be forever thankful.
Of what, of me?
Yeah.
I told you, diagnose it first before we just start throwing the parts cannon at it.
Sure. Okay.
All right. Go ahead and put it in the on position and see if anything happens. Let me know if the fuel level gauge comes back up. Oh, I felt it this time.
Yeah. Yeah, fuel gauge is back.
Fuel gauge is back?
Yeah.
Let's crank it.
All right.
But the fuel gauge is back, right?
Yeah, half.
Okay, so now we have a crank no start, and pretty much I just wanted to double check and make sure power was going to the fuel pump. So I pulled out my multimeter since I didn't have a power probe and just decided to check and see if there was power going to that fuel pump.
So if this jumps, that means that it is sending power to the fuel pump.
It's on.
And then it should shut off. Okay. Go ahead and crank it.
Almost started.
It might be the fuel pump still. Put it, crank it, cycle it a couple more times for me. Okay, crank it. Okay, I'm beginning to think it's the fuel pump.
Okay.
Because it's starting to put fuel into the engine, but it's not enough fuel pressure to keep feeding the engine.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. But
that's why it's starting to crank over.
If we didn't do this, we would have replaced the fuel pump, and then we would have been scratching our heads.
Sure.
Why wasn't it working? Because that's your fuel pump fuse. It's your ECMB. That's your fuel pump fuse.
All right.
So, let's go change out a fuel pump. And Robert's going to do all the work, not me.
I might need your help, like, with the tank.
Of course.
There you guys have it. We actually diagnosed and found out that it is a fuel pump problem, but we did find another problem, which is that fuel pump fuse. Now, if we changed out the fuel pump, and like I said earlier, throwing the parts cannon at the Chevy Avalanche would have been a bad idea because we would have been scratching our heads, obviously figuring it out why the fuel pump wasn't working. Now, why did this happen? Well, obviously, when the pump starts creating a lot more resistance, it pulls more of a draw from your electrical system, thus blowing out that fuse. And if this happened to your vehicle and your vehicle starts right up, it is probably time to change that fuel pump also because it's creating more resistance, pulling a draw, and starting to blow fuses. Now, I hope this helped you guys out, or if you're just being entertained of us putting this Chevrolet Avalanche back on the road. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell notification, and hit that like button on the video. It always helps out with this channel. More videos of the Avalanche will be coming out, or if you just go scroll through our channel, we have everything automotive related. Other than that, guys, my name is Nick, and this is Mechanic Built.